Today's video, I'm doing books that I'd recommend that you read as a beginner reader. I'm going to start with fantasy. If you've read like a bunch of romance before and you're like, oh, I want to get into fantasy now, the Powerless trilogy. Read these books, ho. When I tell you, I was in a reading slump for the entirety of my year 11 because of exams and pressure from exams and shit. I picked up this series. I ate it up in about 3 days. I'd already read this in 2024, but I read Powerful, Reckless and Fearless in literally 3 days. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I read them all. But it is not a story for the weak. I'd say it isn't like the most confusing. It's quite self-explanatory in the sense of the universe and the world building and everything. I'd also suggest to start into fantasy, Grishaverse. Now, in my review, I did say it was quite complicated. Towards King of Scars duology, the map gets really extensive. There are a lot of characters to keep track of, but by that point, you will have read gradually through the series and you will understand it more. So this is what I will always recommend. Start with Shadow and Bone. It is really important, and it makes Six of Crows and King of Scars so much better because you get the references and some of the characters that come in are from Shadow and Bone. So it's kind of like, oh my god, no way! Like, it's a shock factor. I love it. Now, I would recommend A Cult of Thorns and Roses, but I'm just gonna say I will recommend it, but not to people under the age of like 15. I read this when I was 14. I'll admit, I'm a bit of a hypocrite. But honestly, I would never recommend this type of book to a minor. Because of 16 is a minor. I wouldn't recommend this type of book to somebody really young, because it does have a lot of hardcore smut and a lot of sensitive topics, you might say. So, I'd say read it. It's good to start into fantasy. It's kind of like... I have it right here, actually. Hold on. It's a good start. It's not too confusing. It has a lot of characters, to be honest, but at first you're only introduced to a few and then gradually it builds up, and I really like this book. So I would say read it if you're given the opportunity to. Now, to get into romance, if you read fantasy or if you just want to start getting into romance, genuinely, the books that got me into romance are the Icebreaker series. Don't laugh. I read this when I was 13. I will admit. Actually, no, I think I was 14. I read this when I was 14. Icebreaker is not the greatest. Wildfire is so much better. I haven't actually read this book yet, but look how cute the characters are. So I'm just going to say, this series got me into romance. And it got me out of a reading slump. I'd also recommend, I'm not going to grab them out, and you probably can't see them, but I'm recommending the Twisted Love series, like the Twisted series by Anna Huang. They're really good romance. A lot of none of them are particularly so bad that I had to DNF it, but Twisted Hate wasn't as good as the rest of them. But that series is I really enjoyed it. It was probably the second romance series that I read after Icebreaker, and it's decent, it's good. I'd also recommend literally any Elsie Silver books. I have The Flawless Chestnut Springs. I also have Rose Hill. I've only read Flawless, but I really enjoyed it. It's smut, it's like heavy smut. So be careful if you've got strict parents or if you're young. I don't want to introduce anybody to sexual behaviours too young, but I'd say that's really good books to start when you want to get into more adult romances. Now, to get into YA romance, this is the author you need to go to. Lynn Painter. This is the author. Seek her out. Read all of her books. I love this woman. She writes the best YA romance. I've read Better Than the Movies and Betting on You, and I lent Better Than the Movies to my friend. If I had it with me, trust me, I would be showing you it. I have nothing like the movies, and I'm going to read that. I'm going to try and get Better Than the Movies back or buy a new copy. But Betting on You, I ate it up in a day. I love this book. My mother read it. My aunt read it, I think. I genuinely love this book. I love her books. She writes... I want to read The Do-Over. That's the book I want to get next. I genuinely love her writing. The way she portrays some of the characters it's really good, and she makes it very angsty, which I love. I love angst, and I love that. But if you don't like angst, probably steer clear. Now, this is another YA romance, but it is also very sad. So if you are prone to crying a lot, be careful. Now, look at my cute pom-poms. These are sat on the top because I couldn't find space for them. It's the 1,000 Boy Kisses, and it's a duology. It's 2 books, 1,000 Boy Kisses and then 1,000 Broken Pieces. 1,000 Boy Kisses is Poppy and Rune, and it shows their journey. And it's no secret what happens in this book, I don't think, but I'm not going to say. It's a journey of Poppy and Rune's relationship after he's moved away and then he moves back, and they're both different, but they both kind of find their way back to each other. And then 1,000 Broken Pieces comes from the point of view of Poppy's sister, and then a boy who isn't in the first book called Cael Woods, Cael, C-A-E-L, I'm sorry if I said that wrong, who lost his brother, and they both go on like a grief council trip, and I cried my eyes out to both of these books, but they're really cute, and like I would genuinely recommend. So yeah, these are some, and I don't have many more because a lot of the books that I've read I don't actually own. I also recommend Caraval for getting into fantasy and like more like YA fantasy. Caraval definitely. Throne of Glass I wouldn't say is YA, but it's not as bad as The Court of Thorns and Roses. So Throne of Glass, I also really enjoyed that series, and I'm planning on doing a reread of that alongside ACOTAR. There's another fantasy series that is definitely YA that I would just like to recommend. Not a lot, I've never seen people talk about this on TikTok, YouTube, anywhere. The Magisterium series. It's like Harry Potter, and the best parts of Harry Potter and the best parts of Percy Jackson came together and made a book. I love these. I've read the first 2, I haven't read the rest because I'm waiting to get the final book called The Gold Something. I love this series. And while I'm on the topic, I've not read many Cassandra Clare books, but from most of my really reliable sources, I've heard that they are really, really good. So, read them, basically. Read these books, they are good. I think that's all of the recommendations I can think of for now. I will look back at my old Goodreads and see which ones I can think of. But definitely Lynn Painter is a go-to buy for me. Grishaverse, the Powerless trilogy, Icebreaker, and then I'm currently reading If He Had Been With Me, and I'm really enjoying it. And this is a really good book to get into if you're young and you want to start getting into reading. I find it's not fast paced, but it goes by at a quick rate, and it's quite easy to read. Like, I've read quite a decent amount. So yeah, that's my recommendations. Oh, and The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Those books, I got them at the library and I read them. They were so good. I loved all the characters, even though there were quite a few. It was an enjoyable read. So those are my book recommendations. I'm sorry this video is quite short. I do need to get to sleep soon because it is like 11 and I've been up all night. So, night.